It's going to be amazing.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you know that group of death that we saw back? Okay, why am I putting quotes around that? The group of death that we saw back
last year, it was like Parting, Rain,
Parting,
Parting, Flash,
Life.
Innovation, and Life.
Yeah, that.
Yes.
This group of death is like just a step below that one, I believe.
But it's close.
Oh, yeah, it's right there.
Absolutely amazing players tonight, so there is much more StarCraft to come. Of course, this weekend, I would love to give a little bit of love to Dennis, Take, Galen as well. As this weekend, we're going to have the Seed Story Cup. 16 amazing StarCraft 2 players are making their way to Krefeld, Germany once more for, of course, a lot of casual fun, but hopefully also some amazing StarCraft to be played. All of the guys that you are used to from Home Story Cup will be there. Guys like MC, Blink, Stefano, Daishi, and myself will be there as well. So I'm very excited for that. So I hope you guys all want to tune in to the Seed Story Cup this weekend.
I'll be watching.
That left you speechless.
I'll be watching, man.
Gibbles is like, wow, man, I can't wait. It's like GSL tonight sounds good, but Seed Story Cup with Blink, Stefano, and Daishi. Wow.
Yeah. You know, I want to put on like my VR helm, go cook up some sausages on the grill.
But
actually, how is it outside over there this time of year?
Temperature?
Yeah.
Probably quite cold. Maybe
cold,
a little rainy. We'll see. Maybe we get lucky with the weather in Germany. Either way, for now, all eyes will be on this TVT series between Taeja and Major. Taeja is, of course, our red Terran spawning on the right top side of Habitation Station. And Major is our blue Terran, hailing from Mexico, or Mexico, as Bitter would say. Being a blue Terran would be so on the poor Major. This is like the third time that he is to this deciding match in WCS America, and this is the second time he plays against Taeja. He's always so close to making it to the round of 16, and I would love to have Juan here once. But it's looking pretty tough, man, when you have to go up against Taeja, who's fighting for his tournament life, who's fighting for this big prize purse, knowing that two of the big favorites are eliminated already. You know, you have to think that Taeja's of course always sad when he sees his teammate lose, but you know, deep inside he's thinking like, WCS America without Hero, not bad. I'm pretty sure that, you know,
this would be nice.
It's a little bit of both. I'm sure he's sad for his teammate, but on the other hand, he's like, no, I'd be lying if that wasn't good for me.
Yeah.
If he's here, I'm going to ask him that in a question. I wonder what he answers. I wonder if he's going to answer truthfully or if he's going to say like, no, I was just very sad. I'm like, you're a liar, Taeja.
Alrighty. Still one basis for both of these guys, but they're pulling up minerals, so I think we're going to see expansions on both sides of the map. Habitation Station. What do you think of this map?
I like casting games on it, but that's mostly because we just haven't seen all that many games on it just yet, so everything still feels kind of fresh and new. To play on it, I'm not a particularly big fan. It's a beautiful map, like it's a pretty map, the way that it's designed and stuff. And
I think I actually remember you mentioning yesterday that it's one of like the hardest maps for you.
Yeah, I suck at Habitation Station.
That gold base complicates things, especially on your 2-base play, right?
This is pretty promising so far for Major. Major is going for this little poke that Taeja tried to do on Youngsu. It backfired for Taeja. Major's like, oh, there's supposed to be an SCV over there. I like how Taeja did that. So right now things cannot spiral out of control. I'm surprised that he pulls the SCV back immediately. Or the Reaper. I felt that Reaper could have been shooting at this SCV a couple of times. That would have been really nice. But either way, this is already successful. He's slowing down his command center. This is still a fight that Major could potentially win.
Oh, that Marine took, or the SCV, excuse me, took a lot of damage, and he's going to manage to pick off both of these Marines and get out?
I felt that Major slightly missmicroed that. He was running a little too much with the Reaper when the Reaper was not being focused, and the SCV took a few shots before the fight really started.
And that was actually really smart from Taeja that he stepped down the ramp to engage that Marine, because he went, there's no way you're fighting with this Marine without the Reaper.
Yeah, that was smart from both players. Taeja jumped on that Marine at the same time. Major hopped around and went in the circle and shot those two Marines in the back. So that was pretty successful. He slowed the command center down. Is it enough? Well, you know, it's reasonable. I think it's an opening that Major feels like, I can work with this. You know, his orbital is halfway underway while Taeja's command center just finished up. So he still has to morph it into an orbital command. Definitely not all bad news for Major.
No, and he's going to get a nice full scout of the main base right now. Manages to get a glimpse of that tech lab and the starport. And that will pretty much be all she wrote for that Reaper. On the other side of the map, Major has started up Cloak, and he's going to be making some Banshees. The starport already has a Viking on the way, though. So,
so most likely he will wait until that Viking is done. Then he's going to put the starport on the tech lab and will produce a Raven. But the Raven won't be in time to deal with that first Banshee. At least I don't think it's going to be. So there is a chance that Major might have a window of opportunity to do some damage with Cloak Banshees. However, Taeja wouldn't be Taeja if he somehow just sniffs this out of the air and he knows it's coming and he drops the EV and he will most likely drop 2 turrets. Yeah, this is a different Taeja than we saw in that first series of the day.
Absolutely. I mean, the games are lasting longer than 5.5 minutes, so...
This is all business, but this is definitely still something that Major could work with, but you just see what you normally expect from a player of Taeja's caliber, that there is not a whole lot of opportunity to do crippling amounts of damage to him.
Here we are working our way into the macro game as the Banshee makes its way over the Ultralisk. It's now going to be making its way towards Taeja's side of the map. The units are in position though here as he's going to get a couple of shots on these Marines.
Yeah, but Taeja will be completely okay with losing a few Marines. Obviously he rather keeps them alive. Boom. But now here is the Raven. He already had that Viking like you mentioned before. 2 turrets are going down. And once again, this time Taeja is the one who barely takes any damage. Cloak does not work if there is a Raven on your tail.
It was really cool though how he led in there with the Raven. Because you know the Raven's going to eventually lose that Banshee, but the Viking right behind it, which is extremely cool, actually, from Taeja there.
Yeah, good point. Smart movement there, putting a Raven right on top of that Banshee, making sure he will be able to detect it for the rest of that flight course. Major taking a small risk over here, perhaps already taking a 3rd command center. Well, we do have bio play on the way this time for Taeja. Despite opening up with quite a few Hellions, it seems like he wants to transition into bio play. If Major is able to get away with his quick 3rd base, that would be fantastic news. But there is definitely a chance that Taeja is going to hit before that with a lot of Sin Bio, and then Major might be in a little bit of trouble. Yeah,
this is going to be... overall, I like the play out of Major because that Banshee didn't work out. You're playing against the Taeja that's on, the Taeja that's hitting his goals, that's hitting his marks, that's hitting his timings. And because of that, maybe Major feels the need here, and overall, as I said, I like the call to take a little bit of risk. See if you can get yourself into a position where you have the advantage that you can then use to leverage against the Taeja that's playing so well, maybe throw him off kilter.
We're currently looking at 45 SCVs against 48 on the side for Taeja, but of course Major is going to have that 3rd base up and running a little sooner. So, you know, that kind of works for him, but I'm still worried. I think the first real push that Taeja is going to throw at Major is going to be one hell of a scary one. The good thing is, though, that Taeja is completely unaware of this 3rd base, and if he knew, he probably thinks like, man, you crazy foreign Terran? You can't do that. That's against all rules of TVT. Spending that soon with mech versus bio. This is a really good mech map, though. I even struggle in PvP against mech on this map.
Yeah.
Like, man, tanks are so good. I'm not the only Protoss in the world that loses to mech. It's really frustrating. All the time.
We had the slowest high-speed chase that ever took place down in the bottom half of the map. This Banshee somehow escaped. It was kind of one player stopped watching, and the other player stopped watching. Of course, they're macroing a ton during this. Still 300 APM is Taeja. Hellions out on the map for Major, however, allowing him to have complete map control, even though he's the one who took the super fast 3rd. He's going mech behind it all. So, hey, map control as a mech player.
Yeah, but for how long? And that does mean, like, if he puts those units too far in the front, then he's gonna, you know, basically allow Taeja to drop him or somehow sneak in from behind and maybe find some exposed bases here or there.
That's what he's trying to do right now as these Hellions come in towards the 3rd. The Vikings will be able to land, but they're not landed quite yet. The Banshees, of course, well, they now take out the damaged Hellion, but a couple SCVs have already gone down.
Yeah, successful little hit spot here by Taeja, and above all, he confirms that there is a base over here. He also he has to be aware of the fact that he is playing against mech. Here come a lot of these Hellions for Major. They're going to try to do the same thing, but there is some stun by a good split there by Taeja, immediately not taking too much damage on multiple Marines.
Yeah, that was a really solid fight there for Taeja. Major looked like he wanted to engage there for a second, which surprised me because the bio already kind of had its arc set up, so he didn't take too many losses there. I think 3-4 Hellions went down.
126 against 127. Supply-wise, it is surprisingly even. And it seems like Major will be able to be comfortably get away with this space. He throws on some missile turrets. We'll most likely see yeah, this actually is a sensor tower. I thought it was a missile turret. I was like, we'll most likely see some sensor towers go down as well, but that was actually the one. So, you know, a 3-base mech player on Habitation Station, that is already something that you can work with, because it's very easy to secure that 4th base, because you can just leapfrog with tanks towards it.
Yeah. Who do you think's ahead right now?
I think it's very even. It will all come down to the first real engagement. If we take a look at the units lost resource tab, we can see that nothing has truly happened. Yes, some units have been exchanged here and there. And overall, I felt that this went okay for Taeja, but Major took a risk going up to 3 bases that quickly, but it worked out very well for him. He got away with it, didn't really lose a whole lot of SCVs. Lost a few to those single Hellions, so it's a very even game. It will all come down to how well has Major. His tank's position, all of these tanks are on siege. It's a little sloppy. The first tank gets picked off immediately, second tank goes down as well. 3 tanks going down there at the cost of just a few Marauders, so...
I feel like I'm watching Polt right now. Taeja with little small bio hit squads. Really, really nice play for him there. He's going to lose some of the bio, but that's a trade you can take any day of the week. Surprised he's not lifting it into the medevacs, however.
No, he brings it back to the real army. Taeja has quite a bit of money. He's been dropping a lot of mules. It's hard to spend all that money. Terran plays
That's a horrible problem to have.
Yeah, man. It's my first problem when I play Terran. Supply blocks and spending money. Terran is hard. All those mules.
You know what you should do? Drop less mules, drop more emergency supply depots.
Yeah, I know. That is
Less money, more supply.
Solving 2 problems with 1 move. All of these Hellions got caught in between. Nice little sandwich there by Taeja. Slightly unfortunate positioning for Major there as well. Losing Hellions is not really the end of the world, as he definitely has some minerals to spare. You don't want to do it too often, but losing a few Hellions here and there is completely okay for Major.
Yeah, completely agree. 165 supply to 172 as Taeja has map control now.
And a lot of supplies in these medevacs. Makes me wonder, is Taeja gonna go absolutely crazy over here? This is something that Major often does. He used to do this on Belshire Vestige all the time at the 3rd base. He draws a planetary fortress. Just makes it a little harder for Marauders to stim in and deal with bases or Marine hit squads. Because you know, where are you gonna drop? There are missile turrets, so if you try to run in from the ground and there is a planetary, Terran is basically safe all along. There's the first Hellbat drop as well. The first real Hellbat drop in this game. Oh, Taeja's gonna go for a double drop on both sides. He's gonna try to do something about this 4th base, and he will shut this down. That is so important, because meching on 3 bases, yeah, that's cool. Meching on 4 bases is a whole new problem for the bio player.
Simultaneously, though, Taeja's gonna be moving in down towards the 3rd, while all of Major's army is preoccupied up here. You can see it moving into the range of the sensor turret now.
And Major knows, of course, because he does see all these exclamation marks on his minimap. Or, well, not on minimap, but in the Fog of War. Great move so far by Taeja, not being afraid to split up his army. He's going to pick up a few medevacs over here. Has to be careful. I don't know. Well, this is either fantastic or bad.
It will be one or the other, as the bio has a great angle here on the siege tanks, though completely exposed with no Hellbat cover at all.
I was a little worried first that there were a few too many siege tanks, but Taeja with a miraculous engagement, so it was fantastic. He is going to clean up absolutely everything over here. Didn't even have phenomenal upgrades just yet, but just steamrolls that mech army in the middle of the map. What an engagement for Taeja there. GG is called. And Taeja wins the series, and Taeja will also advance to WCS America round of 16.
That was a really sick read from Taeja. You know, he saw that he had an opportunity to surround there, and Major didn't quite react. The ultimate thing there is dividing your units. It's kind of like when you're